Gango, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Man Blue FC. My name is Nanda and we're back with another reaction. And listen, everything that could go right went right this past weekend in terms of football. Manchester City dispatched Liverpool 3-2, 3-2, 3-0. And Arsenal dropped points to Sunderland the day before. And somehow Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur simultaneously dropped points as well. These moments don't come frequently to football fans, but when they come, you have to savor them. And definitely in high spirits from the weekend and leading up to the international breaks as a City fan. But listen, I wanna check out Mark Goldbridge. I wanna see him kind of like give his opinion about what happened over the City match. I know there was a lot of controversy with the refereeing decisions, and I'm guessing Mark Goldbridge is going to have a lot to say about that in particular. But we did win, you know what I mean? We did beat Liverpool, the reigning champions. So I'm happy as can be. Let me just see what these other guys think about that. Let's jump into that right now.
Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Manchester City 3, Liverpool 0. Title gone surely. Terrible officiating decisions. Lots to digest. The league table is there. We've got a bloody title race as well. Arsenal, 4 points ahead of Man City. Arsenal got to go to Man City. I think we've got a title race. I think it's really exciting. But let's start off with Liverpool. The champions of England, they will not be winning the title this year. I sort of felt it a few weeks ago. But does anybody, even Liverpool fans, do you think you can win the league now? Surely not. 5 losses in your last 6 Premier League games. You look like you're going to lose more. Teams that win 7, 8, 9... Teams that lose 7, 8, 9, 10 games don't win Premier League titles. It's gone. It's gone. And they're going to have to accept that. And maybe with that freedom, they can start to build something that they clearly need to do. There are so many issues with that Liverpool side. And look at the game itself. I think before the goals, Man City looked better. They looked like they were causing Liverpool problems. 3-0 is a trouncing as well, by the way. Liverpool have now dropped behind Man United because of goal difference because of the 3-0 loss. So first and foremost, that title is gone. You've got to ask questions why. And I think that the things that we've been talking about over the last few weeks are, the big question is why, in the sense that Man City have been through a lot of change. Man City have lost De Bruyne, they've lost Rodri for a long period of time, they've bought a lot of players in, they've evolved, they've changed, it's a new Pep side, and they are looking very, very good. So why Liverpool? But look, Man City had a bad season last year. They started buying in January. They were starting from a low bar and they're climbing again. Liverpool just won the league. Last season, Man City won the league and were in a similar position. So you can't really compare the fact that Man City are back playing well and Liverpool aren't, because Man City did this last year. And that's where I think Liverpool have got to look at it. They're just going to have to go, look, if we can do something in the Champions League, in the domestic cups, great. We've got to make sure we get back into the top 4. But the title is gone. And what's going on with Mo Salah, Van Dijk, Konate, the manager, the signings. We've spoken about Diaz. Diaz wanted to go. Huge loss. We've spoken about Jota. Tragic loss. We've spoken about Trent wanted to go. Big loss as well. Salah, Van Dijk, Konate, McAllister started the season off badly. Alisson's been injured. Gravenberch is injured. The new players haven't settled very quickly. At this level, you're not going to be fighting for a title with all those things going on. But I think Slot as well, he didn't figure out quick enough that Robertson needed to be playing ahead of Kirkes. And I think tonight, putting Wirtz on the wing, who was totally at fault for the first goal, by the way. I mean, I don't care who you are. If you give a Premier League right back the opportunity to look up and pinpoint a cross onto Haaland's head, you're going to go 1-0 down. And that's because Wirtz doesn't close him down. And he's still trying to shoehorn Wirtz into the team when it should have been Gakpo or Chiesa on the wing. And they would have done their job better. So Slot's got problems. He's sort of slowly moving back to where he needs to be. But look, Salah's a big problem. I mean, I think Salah's a fantastic player, but there's something not right there, is it? And you lose his goals and assists and you start losing games. They've got to fill that hole very, very quickly. And this is going to be a transitional season for Liverpool. And it's all about now what they can get from it. Can they get top 4? Can they go deep into the Champions League? Can Slot survive and build something? Or is it going to is this the drop-off of Liverpool Football Club. I think it's way too early to say that. I think they still can play better, but if Salah's not going to get back and Van Dijk's coming towards the end, and the Konate thing's weird as well. I said this at the end of the season. With Trent running his contract down to go to Madrid, it was bad enough with the booing, and arguably justifiable, but he was a local lad who left the club. Konate's an RB Leipzig signing, and he looks like a player that's running his contract down. I don't think that's going to go well when he's playing badly. I mean, he conceded the penalty because of his crap clearance. I think he could have done better on the Haaland header, as good as it was. And the defence looks fragile, and he's been bad in it. So there is a lot to solve, but I think in some ways, the pressure being off can give them the freedom. They've got some very good fixtures after the international break, and their focus has to be to try and win as many of them as they can. But look at the title race is gone. The way Arsenal are playing, the way Man City are playing, Liverpool are not able to compete with them, and that's what today proved. Before I talk about Man City, let me know your thoughts on Liverpool and the title and what's going wrong. I'm very interested, especially from Liverpool fans, to know what you think. I do want to say though, completely separate, before we big up Man City, the Van Dijk goal is completely separate to what we're talking about Liverpool not being a title race and Man City winning. That's a joke. That is an absolute joke for a multitude of reasons. We've seen goals like that already given this season. And I thought the referee on the pitch was crap. I mean, the Vardiel foul should have been a yellow card in relation to other fouls, but he doesn't do it. Inconsistent bullshit that we're used to from the officiating in this country. But that Van Dijk goal, Man City were the better team, but that goal came out of nowhere. It was a set piece, they scored, and you went, wow, it's 1-1. This could have a big impact on the game. And then the referee goes, no, it's not a goal because it's offside. So I'm sort of like going, Liverpool were robbed. In no way am I saying Man City didn't deserve to win the game, but would it have been a different game? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe Man City would have gone up a gear and won 4-1. I don't know, but that goal should have been given. Donnarumma is at full stretch. He can see the flight of the ball, and Andy Robertson gets out the way. Why are we finding ways to stop legitimate goals? And I don't know whether that's Michael Oliver again, like on the penalty, or it's just some other crap official. But that's just wrong. We shouldn't be looking to ultimately, as I said during the watch along, if you take every player off the pitch apart from Donnarumma and Van Dijk heads that ball, Donnarumma doesn't do anything different. There's a slight hesitation because he thinks Van Dijk might head it the other way. When he realises it's going that way, he adjusts his body and he dives. At no point is Andy Robertson a factor. He only says it because he sees Andy Robertson was in an offside position when the ball's in the back of the net. Somebody somewhere with a brain in the PGMOL has to say, that's a goal. In no way has Van Dijk's header been impacted by Andy Robertson. It's a goal. So it was a shocking decision. What do we expect? It seems to be every week, and it's a shame when it happens in a big game. And that needs saying. And obviously, for context, if it had been against Man United, I would have said offside because it's red-tinted glasses. And if it had been De Ligt scoring the goal against Man City and it had been ruled out, I'd have smashed the studio up. So I understand the frustration, and I think we need to look at it like that. It's not Man City's fault, by the way. If Haaland had scored that and it was the other way around, Man City fans would have moaned. If Liverpool had conceded that and it had been given offside, they'd have said it was offside. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about officiating and how crap it is. With regards to Man City, we've got a title race. They are the best team I've seen United play this season. I think they are probably the best team I've seen play this season. Arsenal have been very good, but they've come up against a lot of low blocks. It's not necessarily been great to watch. I thought that was quite a good game. I don't remember long throws. I don't remember many long balls. I thought it was actually quite a good game of football. And Man City were very good on the eye. I'm surprised I say this because I've never been a big fan of Man City and I'm still not. But I can't hide from the fact that I think they're the best footballing team in the league, and it's not traditional Pep tiki-taka shit. It's a little bit more direct.
Okay.
Obviously, it's helped by the fact that Haaland's doing well, but they've got a very good goalkeeper. They're actually quite a good team to watch, and obviously Arsenal are the favourites. They defend really well. They've got a very good squad. I don't want Man City to win the league. I'd rather Arsenal win it, but I didn't want Arsenal 12 points clear at Christmas, and we're not going to get that. I think we've got a title race. I think this is good for the Premier League. I mean, look at how compact it is from Crystal Palace in 10th to Chelsea in 3rd. It's 3 points, but it looks like those two are going to be the teams that go, and it looks like Man City are going to be the team that challenge, and they are doing very well. Give me your thoughts. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. I'll speak to you on the next one.
Big up Mark Goldbridge for his take there after the match. And listen, I've got a few things. I have a lot of praises to give in terms of Manchester City and their performances as of late. We lost the match to Aston Villa, but aside from that, it's been all roses, personally, for my football club. The first person I want to big up is Erling Haaland, because Erling Haaland is just worth his weight in gold. I couldn't imagine supporting another football club and not having Erling Haaland as a striker. It just seems like it would be a disaster. You know what I mean? That's how acclimated he feels like, you know what I mean, to Manchester City, to the fans, you know, man. That's how much we've gravitated towards him. It's the fact that we can't even imagine a world where he doesn't play for our football club. So he deserves the highest praise in terms of people who've been doing well for us this season. But I also want to highlight someone I consider is the most improved player in our squad, and that's Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes started off in very rocky form in the beginning of the season, but now he's a nailed-on starter. He's adjusted very well to that right back position, and he's contributing in assists, sometimes in goals. You know what I mean, which is more than you can ask for in a right back. So big up to Matheus Nunes for improving as he did. Nico Gonzalez, somebody that I actually liked for being understated in our football club, you know, kind of being like a squad player of sorts, you know what I mean? Not somebody who's in the spotlight, but somebody who kind of just mops up after everybody's mistakes. Yesterday he scored his first goal for the club, and I couldn't be more elated for the guy. So shout out to Nico. Almost scored an own goal, and it scared the hell out of me, but you know what I mean? He tipped it over the crossbar. So big up to Nico Gonzalez, man. Another Nico who's been absolutely flying as of late is the young gunner Nico O'Reilly, who had Mohamed Salah in his pocket pretty much for most of the game. And all of these people have sort of like been playing on niggling injuries during the match. I was like begging Pep Guardiola to substitute them, but you know, he persisted with the guys, and they did him proud. So I love our team, man. Jeremy Doku is somebody that I have always, when people were criticizing Jeremy Doku for being a pace merchant or not being clinical or being too brash or whatever, I was always like, no, Jeremy's our guy. I'm a Manchester City fan, so I'm going to support the guy anyway. But now it seems like Jeremy has come out of his cocoon, and we don't even miss people like Grealish now. We don't even miss people like Mahrez now, because we don't have to. We have Doku. We have players like we still have Foden, that's for sure. And by the way, I've been complimenting Arsenal on having such a good squad depth. Our squad depth isn't that bad either, you know what I mean? Rodri technically isn't fit to play, but he's still on the bench. We also had Tiani, Reinders on the bench. We had Omar Marmoush, who came on later on in the match. So big up the guys, man. I couldn't be prouder, man. Now as for Liverpool and as for the refereeing decisions, here's the one thing that I will admit that we got away with. I was watching the match with my girlfriend, and when that penalty was awarded to Jeremy Doku, before it was awarded, when it was like still being processed by VAR, I told her that I didn't think that was a penalty. So I was just assuming that it was just going to be waved away, like, okay, like, get back to playing. And then it was actually given. The penalty was actually given. I was shocked. I felt like it was one of those moments where Liverpool fans would have been like livid about it, but you know what I mean? We took the penalty and we missed it. So I guess that's sort of like some justice if you're a Liverpool fan. But It was that was a weird penalty, man. I won't linger on it, but I just know that I feel weird about it. The rest of the refereeing decisions, that's not up to me, people. You know, the referees know better about football than I do, so I'm gonna let them do their job, especially if their job leads to us winning 3-0 against our fiercest rival. So shout out to Michael Oliver and shout out to PGMOL this time. You know what I mean, for having our backs. And yeah. I'm happy, man. Nothing more I can say besides that. So, you know what I mean? If you guys like the video, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel and yeah, leave a comment if you have to. I don't know why my brain is malfunctioning today. Big up to Manchester City, man, for winning, closing the gap between us and Arsenal. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace out.